All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Andrea, for saving me. So, yes, welcome everybody. And this is our uh, financial resources panel. And so, just some housekeeping notes. This is being recorded right now, and captioning is also available for your convenience. And for this recording, give it about 2 weeks for the captioned recording to appear on our Week of Welcome page. And so, as Andrea mentioned, you get to earn points and also a chance to win on our raffle at the end of the event. So we do have one more Week of Welcome events tomorrow, and that's with DJ McPhee. So if you want to jam with DJ McPhee, and yes, I'll defer that to Andrea, but we also have Casey tomorrow, our alumni and mentorship coordinators. If you want to learn about our Crimson mentorship program, please come tomorrow to our Week of Welcome. And yep, we're already doing attendance. So if you haven't yet, please send those to Susanna. All right. Before we get started, it is fitting for all of us to just take some time and reflect on the land to which our WSU campus stands on. So Washington State University locations statewide are on the homelands of Native peoples who have lived in this region from time immemorial. The university expresses its deepest respect for and gratitude towards these original and current caretakers of the region. WSU Pullman is on the homelands of the Ninipo Nez Perce tribe and Palus people and remains steadfast in its support of tribal sovereignty and the inclusion of Native voices in teaching, research, and programming. All right. Okay. So I think we kind of did a brief introduction, but if we want to go ahead and drop our name, our major, estimated graduation term, I mean, we can skip the location because we've already done that. And while you are doing that for our participants, for students, I'd invite our panelists to introduce yourselves. So just state your name, your role, and your area of expertise. So let's see. Maybe I'll get started with Kelly. You're the first one that is on my screen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly Newland. I am the Director of Global Learning, or well, actually, we changed our name. It's Education Abroad at Washington State University. So if anybody is interested in studying abroad, I'm here for you. We will find a way to make that happen. And we're super excited about that. And I'll also drop my email in here a few times so that if anyone does need additional information, you can have it.
All right. Okay. How about Kira? We haven't met, but yes, feel free to introduce yourself.
Yes, hi. So my name is Kira. I'm with Cougar Money Matters. I see a few participants in here that have come to our presentations, which is awesome. So I am the financial education advisor with Cougar Money Matters. You'll hear more about that later. But yeah, so my area of expertise is going to be personal finance and just everything that comes with that.
All right. Thank you so much, and nice to meet you, Kira. Thanks for being here. Next on my screen is Jordan.
Hello, good evening, you all. I think I've talked to most of you in the last couple of weeks, which is great. So Jordan Crane, I'm the campus director of financial aid here at Global. So anything regarding your financial aid, awards, scholarships, loans, things in between, I can help you. And I've worked with WSU for quite a while in a lot of different areas. So I can just be a go-to person if you just have questions about areas to go and what to do. I'm always happy to help.
All right. Thank you, Jordan. Of course, Adela, our ASWSUG Director of Finance.
Hi, everyone. As Mia mentioned, I am Adela Kandara, the ASWSUG Director of Finance, and today I'm here today to share the financial resource of grocery vouchers to you guys.
All right. Okay. And last but definitely not the least, Shane. If you attended our Tuesday week of welcome, Shane hosted an intentions and mindfulness, but he's here for something related. But Shane, go ahead.
Yeah, so my name's Shane. Thank you. Hopefully I didn't freeze up there. My name's Shane. Thank you. I do our health and wellness programming. So That's programming and information for you that's designed around mental, physical, and emotional wellness. And I'll be here to talk about one of our reimbursement programs.
Wonderful. I thank you, everybody. And we do have some introductions from our students in the chat. So, Psych Major, Spring 28, Elizabeth 2027, Susanna 2028, Leora, graduation term is fall of 28. I know Angelique is 2026, which I'm sad, but I'm happy at the same time. All right. Okay. This is our game mechanics. We will have 5 categories, and each category will have 3 questions. Participation in the game is not mandatory, but highly encouraged. So connections, that would be me, will pick the first category. I don't know why it says same, the first category. So use the raise hand button, the react heart icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen to, when you're ready to answer, you use that, and then fastest to raise their hand gets to answer. You can either unmute or drop your answer in the chat when prompted. Only 2 students allowed to guess per question. So, for example, if the first person does not or is not able to answer correctly, we will give another person a chance. So, once a question is or the either answered correctly or the 2 allowable attempts is expended, panelists will expand on the topic more. So no scorekeeping, but when you answer the question correctly, you get a chance to have your name added again. So you'll have multiple chances of winning that raffle. So last person to answer chooses the next category. So person choosing the category does not have priority to answer. So once a question is asked, it is open for everybody. And I do want to emphasize that when you raise your hand, you will answer when prompted if you choose to drop them in the chat. If you drop it in the chat and you were not prompted to answer the question, then that would be a freebie to whoever raised their hands first. So, yep, remember, speed counts, but accuracy matters too. All right, let's get this started. So we'll have a lot of time to get our question and answer done. So let's see. Let us know. We don't want teams because we already said that we don't want any scoring. All right. I will pick, I will say, let's say study abroad. That's my first pick. All right. Raise your hands. Remember, on how many continents can you study abroad as a global campus or a global cook? So Charisma is very fast. Go ahead, Charisma.
I'm gonna say all of them.
All of them.
them. Ding, ding,
Let's
ding. You did
ding,
it.
ding, ding.
Yeah, there are 7. So, yes, like, could you potentially go to Antarctica as a Coug? Heck yeah. Every other year we have a program during winter break in Antarctica. So, but then, of course, all the other continents, I think the most popular at WSU is Europe. But we have students on every last continent. We have students in Asia, Africa, South America, North America even. So Australia, you name it, you can do it, and I'm here to help you make it happen.
Wonderful. That's exciting. So yeah, I know that Adela did it too before. So yep, take
Yeah.
advantage of that if you have time. All right. Charisma, I think you got the board. So let me escape. So which one is the category that we're going for next? Did you drop it in the chat? Let me
I'll
see.
do Cougar Money Matters 100.
All right, 100 for Cougar Money Matters. Invest in Cougs is a match savings program that can provide up to what dollar amount in match grant funding? Elizabeth.
It's you invest 1,000 and you get 4,000.
Oh, let's see. Is that
4,000.
correct?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, good job, Elizabeth. So that's
Good
correct.
job.
You can invest $1,000 and we will give you $4,000. In addition, we will give you back your $1,000. So Invest in Cougs is another program with college affordability programs. So it's college affordability programs, and then Investing Cougs and Cougar Money Matters are the two main programs in there. So it's more of a selective program. You do have to meet a few requirements, those being an SAI of less than 10,000. That comes from your FAFSA. You have to be a Washington State resident and a few other things. But I will drop the link for this in the chat if you are interested in you want to maybe apply or look more into it. This will take you to our website, and it has an FAQ to look at and the application as well. So yeah, it's a really great program. If you're eligible, you also get financial literacy training as well. So yeah, a great thing to look into.
All right, thank you so much. And if you do have any questions, we will have an open Q&A at the end of our game. All right, Elizabeth, what is our next category? Oh, let's see if you put it in the chat.
Sorry, it remuted me. ASWSUG reimbursements.
All righty, for 100 or 500?
100.
All right. This ASWSUG program helps WSU Global Campus students afford essential groceries. Elizabeth. Elizabeth, go
The
ahead.
grocery voucher program.
What is the grocery voucher? Is that correct, Adela?
Yes.
All right. Let's see what is the ASWSUG grocery voucher program.
And I think the question kind of explains what it is. So I'll leave it to that.
All right. Okay. Maybe kind of like a little bit of a context of what is for anybody who does not know or not familiar with the grocery voucher yet.
Okay, so one of the issues that we've seen based on Global Campus is food insecurity, and this is one of the ways that we have to combat that, and we're hoping to continue this, and we hope to see more applications come through and get the word out on this program.
All righty. So, who are eligible for the program, basically? If anybody here
Okay,
might have a
that's a good
question.
So all SNA fee paying Global Campus students who are enrolled in 6 or more credits within the term that the application period is within. However, if you are in one of other graduate programs that do not pay into SNA fees, there is a donor food fund that could, if there's funding available in there, we can get your vouchers that way.
Oh, wonderful. That's really good to know. All right, because this is being recorded, and if there's anybody that is watching this recording, yep, this is great information. All right. Who was the last one? I think it was Elizabeth. You're dominating this Jeopardy game. Elizabeth.
Need that cheese. Cyber-Coug Fitness 100.
All right. Cyber-Coug Fitness. This is the name of WSU Global Campus virtual fitness community aimed at helping students stay active. Charisma.
I want to say Wellness Online.
Mm.
Or is it the core events?
All right. Okay. Is there anybody else that wants to take a guess?
I think Elizabeth probably knows.
I think I would take the core class as an
Oh, you
answer.
would? All right.
no.
Okay. Shane has spoken, so let us say what is Cyber-Coug Fitness.
Yeah, it's kind of a trick gimme question. But yeah, I would take the core class. So we do have a core class on Thursdays at 2:05 p.m. We've got a regular group of people. It's evidence-based core training. It's taken me 19 years to find really, really, really good stuff based on the evidence. You should join us. But for Cyber-Coug's been going for quite a while. So a few notes on that. One is that it was housed by the Rec Center for quite a while, and now Global Campus is managing it. And this last semester was the first time that all of the SNA fee paying students that applied successfully were reimbursed. So that's the first time around for that. I do want to make a special note that you need to reach out to financial aid to make sure it's not going to affect your student loans. So that's a key thing there, and I'll save a few more details for the next question. So good job, Chris.
All right. Thank you, Shane. All right, Charisma.
I'll do financial aid 100.
Financial aid for 100. These applications open on October 1st and must be completed, Susanna, annually to qualify for financial aid. So, Susanna,
Actually,
Jordan, would you accept that answer?
I'll accept that.
All righty.
There's also the WASFA for those who are not eligible to complete the FAFSA, but are Washington residents. So you have to do the FAFSA or WASFA every year while you're in school. The priority deadline is January 31st. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure you do it ASAP.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. And you do have a completion workshop sometime this month, correct?
Correct. Yes. If you have not done it, we have our last completion kind of just drop in hours next Tuesday evening. So feel free to drop in if you haven't completed it yet. If not, if you have completed it, you are ahead of the game. If you are not able to make it Tuesday, you are always able to make an appointment with me, email me. We can jump on a Zoom at any time. And I can help navigate you through those applications.
All right. Wonderful. Okay. That was Susanna. So, Susanna, what would be our next category?
let's go with reimbursements for 300.
ASWSUG reimbursements for 300. Student must complete this action each time they want to be considered for grocery vouchers. Susanna, I need to see Angelique's hand, but Susanna, go ahead.
I believe it's called a W-9 form, maybe?
Well, that is actually true, and I probably should have added that to this answer to like update it. So I feel like that's acceptable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a new application, but yeah, more importantly, the W9 form, as each time you reapply, you have to submit a new one.
Oh, that's good information. Good job, Susanna. I didn't even think of that. All right. Okay. Board is yours still. What is our next category?
Let's go with Cyber-Coug for 300.
Cyber-Coug Fitness for 300. Mental health, emotional health, and physical health have been shown to be treatable by this type of activity. I saw Elizabeth raise her hands first.
I'm going to say mindfulness.
Ooh, mindfulness. Shane.
That answer is true. That's not what we're looking for, but I will take it. I will take it. The evidence is very, very strong for mindfulness training. I think a variety of morbidities and mortalities can be curbed by mindfulness practice. So that is true. Exercise is another heavy hitter intervention, and physical activity falls in that category. But exercise is a particular type of physical activity that's planned and structured. So there you go.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Board is still yours, Elizabeth.
Cyber-Coug Fitness 500.
Oh, wow. All right. True or false? Only full-time students are eligible for Cyber-Coug Fitness. Susanna was so fast. I saw her. And okay, go ahead.
False. Part-time are
False.
eligible as well.
Oh, all right.
Correct. Yes,
Nice.
students do qualify. And yeah, so part-time students qualify, even if you only have a couple credits. We highly encourage everybody that pays S&A fees to apply. If you've touched base with financial aid and it's not going to affect your financial aid award, and you've thought about that, you're more than welcome. Our closing date this semester is going to be April 15th. So make sure to get your applications in. A couple more notes on this is that your application will consist of your registration form, a receipt. So if you go to a health center or you have some equipment, make sure that that receipt identifies you, that it says what you bought and the date. We need that information. And then if you submit your quote unquote healthy habits, which is a really wide net, we just want to see that you're doing good stuff for your body. I've seen a range of new recipes, went and got a massage, maybe you went and tried Timely Care, which is the online mental health care service for students. All of those things would count. Even I would say even volunteering has evidence for being a healthy habit that's good for you. So submit all those and you'll maximize your reimbursements. The part-time students get a little bit less, 75 to 100. Full-time students, it's 100 to 125 if you submit your healthy habits. So there you go.
Thank you, Shane. So if you haven't yet, watch out for, when is it open again, Shane, or is it open now?
It's open now. Yeah, you can
Oh,
apply
so
anytime between now and April 15th. Absolutely.
all right.
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay. I think it was Susanna. Susanna,
Let's do financial aid for 300.
I know Leora is here and I think Amika is here. I need to see your hands. All right. Students should check with this office to see if participating in I know somebody raised their hands before Susanna, and I think that was Angelique. All right, Angelique.
Is it the financial aid office?
Oh, wonderful. What is the student financial services? Oh, I revealed it, Jordan, but did you consider it?
Yes,
Sorry.
absolutely. I'll absolutely. At WSU, we do call it student financial services because it is a little bit more than just financial aid. But yes, if you want to participate in a reimbursement program, please reach out to financial aid prior to applying for the program. Anytime a student receives something, especially a gift card, or a reimbursement, because that is money, because you are a student, it has to be accounted for on a financial aid. So it just shows up on your financial aid as a placeholder. It doesn't get dispersed through financial aid, but we're required to account for it. And so in some cases, it may impact your grants or loans. The risk is very, very minimal. But if it does impact you, it really stinks. So that's why we really encourage you to reach out ahead of time so that you aren't put in a position where we're forced to reduce your grants or loans for a reimbursement and then potentially owe money back to the university. We don't want you in that type of situation.
Yeah, this is good information to always keep in mind. Always, when in doubt, always check with student financial services. So thank you, Jordan. Angelique, what is our next category?
Let's do study abroad for 300.
Study abroad for 300. Major or majors you can study abroad at WSU. Elizabeth, you're so fast.
I was just going to say, I think if I remember right, it was most of them.
It's all of them. Yeah. Way to go. Yeah. So a lot of people think of study abroad as only being about their major, but keep in mind, you can get a minor, you can work on UCOR, you can take general elective. No matter what, you can study abroad and we can find a way that will actually help you get closer to graduation. So go Cougs, go abroad.
Yeah, that is exciting because this is good information to know when you're thinking like, oh, would my major apply? Would my minor apply? There you have it. It does. Okay. Elizabeth, what is our next category?
I'll go for that last 300 on the board there.
Which one is that? Oh, the last 300. Cougar Money Matters. True or false? Cougar Money Matters is free for all WSU students. Elizabeth, do you have that like raised hand like already standing by?
Yes,
Go ahead.
yes, I'm hovering. I've got the mouse right there. True.
What is true? Let's see. Yes.
Yes, this is true. So, unlike Investing Cougs, which I mentioned has a few requirements, Cougar Money Matters is free for all WSU students, regardless of what campus you're at, what's your major, what degree you're going for. So, graduate students can also use this resource. So, you can come to our online events. You can use our online learning portal. all of that good stuff. So yeah, it's completely free. And I might spoil the next one if I keep talking. So I'll leave it at that for now.
Well, I must say you have been Cougar Money Matters, you've been hosting these webinars each month, and you do have 3 webinars coming up this month,
Yes, we
correct?
do. Yes, I believe it will be coming out in the global newsletter. If it hasn't already, I know I submitted some stuff. So yeah, you can just go to our website as well and see our calendar. But yeah.
Yeah, there is eating on a budget, um, budgeting your money.
Okay. Will you run
And
downstairs to the printer and go get me the page that just printed?
oh, all right. Okay. Thank you. Was that Elizabeth? Yeah, you were hovering. So what's the next category?
ASWSUG reimbursements 500.
All right. ASWSUG reimbursement for 500. ASWSUG grocery vouchers program is typically awarded in this amount per approved student. Susanna, I saw you raise your hands first.
150.
150. Is that correct, Adela?
Yes, it is.
Woohoo! All right, you
Yes.
want
Yeah. So in our typical application periods, it's 150. And I was thinking maybe this would be a trick question because this year we had an emergency period for when during like it was still the fall like semester, but I just named it winter 2025 so that's not mistaken for the same application period where we awarded 300. But nope, didn't trick anybody. You guys know your stuff.
All right, so the 150 is that for the entire academic year or per semester?
Oh. It's for each application period. So that'll be like each semester. So the total that you could receive, granted you applied and were approved for both semesters, it would be 300 within an academic year. But then also note when you're filling out your substitute W-9 form, you have to self-acknowledge. I think that's the right word. Self-acknowledge that you haven't received more than $600 worth of like gifts. But that's for the calendar year. And as you know, like spring and fall, they fall in different calendar years. So
All right, that's good to know. Thank you, Adela. Alrighty. That was Susanna. So take your pick. We only have 3 left on the board.
Financial aid.
Financial aid 500. For this semester, students enroll in courses and then a financial aid offer is created. Oh, this is tricky. Oh, okay. Now I know. For this semester, students enroll in courses and then a financial aid offer is created. So we're talking about semester. I'm giving you a clue.
Did I stump someone?
Oh, Elizabeth. Yeah,
Spring 2026?
I don't think.
No.
Who wants to take another guess? Not spring 2026. But yes, we are talking about a semester, a term. Anyone wants to give it a shot? Ooh, this is a good 500 question. Okay, Charisma.
Is it fall 26 or no?
No, so we did say 2, but what is summer semester? So Jordan, go ahead.
Yeah, so summer works a little bit differently than what you all may have experienced this semester. For summer, because there are so many variables that go into awarding a student financial aid during the summer, you do not receive a summer financial aid offer until you enroll in courses. So generally, we recommend students, if they're thinking about summer, to enroll as early as possible to get a financial aid offer, and then to then be able to determine whether it is in your best interest to take summer courses. If that makes you a little nervous, which is fully acceptable, you can always reach out to the financial aid office ahead of time and we can give you an estimate of it is only an estimate until you get your financial aid offer because financial aid changes daily. But yeah, but then fall and spring, you typically get those awards ahead of time and all at once. Summer, you enroll and then you get an offer. So if you're thinking about enrolling, we encourage you to enroll in all of your courses at the same time so that you have a realistic picture of what your summer is going to look like. Typically, financial aid offers for summer are available normally around the first week of April.
Oh, that is a great tidbit of information because it looks like everybody's stumped with that question and everybody, this is new information for you all. So yeah, thank you so much, Jordan. That is good tidbit. Okay, Charisma, you were the first, or who answered after you? Was it Elizabeth or Charisma? I'll just call on you, Charisma.
We
So what
both
is your
study abroad 500.
study abroad? 500. The length of time that the study abroad programs offered by WSU. Ooh. What is the length of time?
I'll give you a hint. It's a lot like the answers to my other questions.
If you paid attention, Elizabeth.
Yeah. Elizabeth, you have a guess?
Oh, sorry, I was still muted. As long as the student is a student?
Yeah, so the question is really sort of like, how long can you study abroad? So having to put it into the form of an answer is rough. But any thoughts? Like, how long is a study abroad program?
All right, Charisma.
I'm gonna say all year because if you're global, can't you? I'm sorry, that's a dumb answer.
Yes.
Because you're global, you could technically be anywhere.
Right. That's kind of right.
So
yeah, well, yeah, if you're global, you could be somewhere, but actually studying from somewhere else, though, earning credit from a different university, but using it then back at WSU, it can be as short as 1 week. We have spring break programs. We have a group going to Panama, a group going to Dubai this spring break. And then you could also go for a full year if you really wanted to. We can get any length of program in there for you. We even have programs where you can volunteer. You don't even have to earn credit. So lots of opportunities. Doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter how. If you want to do it, we can probably find a way to make it work for you.
I gotta ask though, what is the most popular destination for study abroad?
Oh, has anybody ever been to Florence, Italy? Florence, Italy is a gorgeous, gorgeous city in Italy. So that is our most popular place for students to go. Second most popular is Barcelona, Spain. And then after that, we start to get to like a little bit more diverse. We have a lot of programs actually that go to Greece with faculty at WSU. So whether that be business or Murrow, communications. And so oddly enough, Greece is kind of our third place location. So Italy, Spain, and Greece are our top three.
Wow. Well, what would you recommend for somebody here that might be considering?
Yeah, I would say if you've never been abroad before, really just kind of follow your heart. Because you really can go just about anywhere. It could be related to your family heritage. It could be related to the content that's being studied and if the credits you want to earn. It could be based on a budget. I know, Florence is kind of an expensive place to go. But we have students who, for instance, could go to somewhere in South America and volunteer for a week for maybe even under $1,000, not including airfare. But there's all sorts of opportunities at different budgets, for sure. So it just depends on where you want to go. My favorite place in the world, though, is Prague, the Czech Republic. And I think it's because it's where I studied abroad when I was a student. Memories, right?
Right. And I was gonna ask this one question, but I'm gonna save it because in case a student would ask that question during our Q&A, because
Okay.
yeah, study abroad and finances. So there is a question there. Oh, last one. Elizabeth, was it Elizabeth that answered? Elizabeth. Oh, I guess there's one left on the board, so I'm just gonna open it up then. All right. In addition to events, workshops, and the self-paced online financial education, Cougar Money Matters also provides this for students. Ooh, these 500 questions are really 500 questions. So, in addition to events, workshops, okay, Elizabeth, take it away.
Uh, Financial counseling advice.
Ooh, what do you think, Kira?
Yes, it is financial counseling. Great job. So, this is our last, again, free service for WSU students. We do financial counseling appointments, and we can do Zoom appointments as well. So, global, of course, over Zoom. So, I will drop the link here. This is to our website. If you go to the Meet Our Team page, you can book an appointment with myself as the financial education advisor or our director, Maya Gillespie, and it's just like a bookings page. And these appointments can be a wide range of topics. It could be about understanding your WSU expenses, your financial aid, your FAFSA, your scholarships, but it could also be more on the personal finance side. So, figuring out your living expenses, making a budget, saving money, maybe figuring out your finances after college, how to repay your student loans, things like that. So, really, anything financially related, we can talk to you about, help you come up with a plan, give you additional resources, all of that good stuff. So, again, another great free resource. And yeah, you can just go to our website here, which also has our events, our calendar, and the link to our learning portal. But yeah.
All right, thank you, thank you. And that concludes our Jeopardy. So it looks like we do have a lot of time or some time. If you have additional questions, like lingering questions after hearing all those cool information. So let's see if we have something in the chat. If you want to just drop it, I want to go back, see if there are questions that we missed. I didn't notice either. I didn't think summer. Okay. All right. Anybody has any questions? So if nobody, I will ask the question that I had in my mind. She's will. Oh my God, come on. Elizabeth. All right. So my question though, so for study abroad, how does financial aid works? Oh, all right. I'm gonna ask that question later too. But yes, Kelly.
Yeah. So, in terms of financial aid and study abroad, it does count for that. So what happens is for each program, if you go onto our study abroad search website, and I'll put the link in here as soon as I'm finished talking, you can search programs and then you can find the cost of those programs. So you want to be very open and communicative with, for instance, Jordan, who is your financial aid person, because there are some like limitations for different things. And if you're not earning credit, you don't qualify for financial aid. So I talked about that inexpensive opportunity, like where maybe you go to South America and volunteer for a week. It's not expensive, but it's not for credit. So that means it doesn't qualify for financial aid. But there are all sorts of opportunities from scholarships, and you can use, for instance, your student loans, grants, all of those types of things. Some of them are limited in what you can use in terms of study abroad. But for the most part, I mean, it's just like if you have to pay maybe a course fee, like let's say for digital media or something, when you sign up for a global campus class, study abroad's class fee is just a lot more, but it's considered a legitimate educational expense. And yeah, like you can use, if you have any 429 money, you have like, yeah, there's all sorts of different things you can do to help finance it.
So our study abroad applications open year round.
They are open year round. So it's just like for some programs though, like for instance, applications for this coming summer, they close at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, February 2nd. So if you were thinking you wanted to do a faculty-led study abroad program this coming summer, and we have 30 programs being offered, yeah, that is the deadline to get those applications in. So, and you probably want to know how that financial aid or how you might pay for that before that point, because the turnaround to commit is only within like 36 hours or something. Like we're kind of expecting you to be paying attention to that right now. So, but all throughout the year, there are study abroad applications open. That volunteer opportunity I told you about, you can go pretty much anywhere for 1 week to 6 months with this company that we work with. So yeah, like those are open all year round, and you can log in to search those programs anytime at the link I'm going to type into the chat now.
All right. Well, thank you, Kelly. And to answer your question, Adela, yes, we will try to put them all in an email, but in the Connections website on the week of welcome, we should have most of the links. If we are missing any links for all our panelists from the academic resource panel into our panelists tonight, we will make sure to add those links as well. So yeah. All right. Are there any more questions? Because I do have a question for Cougar Money Matter. Are alumni eligible for the program, or it's just current students?
I believe it is just current students. We haven't really had, I'll be honest, much interest from alumni. I'm not entirely sure, but with our learning portal, it's free to sign up with using a WSU email. So you could probably still sign in. But as for the financial counseling meetings, I'm not entirely sure. But also, again, with our online workshops, that's just through a Zoom link. So I'm sure you could attend those as well.
Yes, because we do have some students that like freshly graduated and they're in a sense like confused and wanting to or yeah, webinars and workshops like this might be beneficial. So yeah, I was just wondering about that. But
yes, that is a great question. I will ask my boss tomorrow and I'll get back to you on that.
All right, thank you. So kind of not exactly in line with these Q&A topics, but in order to be an ambassador, I believe you have to be taking so many credits, minimum of 6 credits, Elizabeth, per term. Yeah. Summer, it kind of is. That is a good question. Is Andrea still here? That could shed light to this. Oh, she had left already because, yeah. Because you do have to transition. Because when you apply, you'll be applying in spring. And so the spring credits are what is going to be looked at. And so if you have at least 6 credits, then you are eligible. And so I don't think it matters if you do have, or if you don't, or you take summer classes, or you only take 1 or 2. But yeah, it's from my understanding, if I remember it correctly, yeah, spring to spring, basically spring, fall, spring is what is counted. But Adela, do you have anything to add to that?
On the top of my head, no. So that is a good question. So I know we have like credit minimums. I believe it only like you said, counts for the spring and fall because we're hired in the spring and then we work like starting. Yes, like starting like in for most positions start in like May, and then it continues on until the next May. So I think as long as you're spring and fall, then you should be good. And then we can find that information too on the ASWSUG webpage because I believe it's in our bylaws.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? I will give it probably about 2 seconds. Our 5 seconds, and then we can have our panelists say if they have final words to say as Oh, basketball starts in 30 minutes. All right. Okay. All right. So, panelists, why don't we go ahead and if you have any final words to wrap up the event, let's start with Kira then. Like I could see you're like right.
Yeah, I feel like I pretty much said everything that I wanted to say. I guess our first event is next week. I will be talking about financial goal setting. So if you're interested in
Mhm.
that, I believe it's already in the Global Involved calendar. But yeah, feel free to go to our website. That should have everything you need, including how to contact us. So yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Then next up is Kelly. Is there any last um, items that you want
Yeah.
to tell our students?
Nothing specifically. I just want to leave you all with the sense that if you have a dream of studying abroad or doing something abroad, not to, self-select out and think it's not for you, call us or, send us an email and we'll schedule a Zoom meeting one-on-one and go through some different options and find out how we can help you out.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. I know study abroad is exciting. Okay, Adela.
Yeah, I wanted to confirm. I wrote it in the chat, but confirm that for ASWSUG, you need to be, and it's not grocery vouchers, but you need to be enrolled in 6 credits minimum for fall and spring, respectively. So just the regular academic term.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Is that all? Anything that you want to add about the grocery vouchers?
Um,
Any opening they have to look out for soon or?
yeah, we will be opening our regular spring applications soon. Aiming for February 1st. That is what we're aiming for. Right now, we're just trying to get our winter 2025 grocery vouchers all out and making sure that those are satisfied before we continue into the next application period. And, don't want it to be mixed all together and making sure that everyone gets it. And I'm going to follow up as well that everyone gets their winter 2025. But yes, look out for the spring 2026 opening coming soon.
All right. So thank you. Thank you. All right, Shane. Is there anything you want to plug or any last words?
Yeah, definitely want to encourage students to take advantage of these programs. I think the COUD matched savings program that was mentioned earlier is an amazing opportunity to get a good return on saving $1,000. You just think about how far that's going to go, or the grocery vouchers. I think that's absolutely fantastic. As someone who served abroad, you should take opportunities to go other places. People live in very different conditions. It's just huge benefits. Like you don't even know how big of a ripple that can create in your life and in the world. So just wanted to echo all of that. And I'll say with Cyber-Coug Fitness, apply, check with financial aid, apply. We have, folks that have enrolled in kickboxing gyms, that counts. Planet Fitness, a good staple, that counts. Okay. We have equipment reimbursements. There's been folks that have purchased devices to help track their fitness, because not everybody has access to a facility. It might not be easy access for whatever reason, because we have students all over the place. So I would encourage you to look into equipment that might be useful to you as well. So, and please use these programs and services. It's awesome stuff.
And I just want, I know this is not financial aid, but just to make a plug on Timely Care, because we need to utilize that service. It is for you. It's paid for already. So do you want to expand on that, Shane?
Would love to. Yes. Yeah, so it doesn't cost anything for insurance. SNA fees have paid for this service. You get 12 sessions a year. Counselors are available 24/7, and you can go through and you can select a counselor. So they'll have their likeness, they'll have a profile of who they are, what they do. Maybe they have some focuses. You can continue to work with that provider, or if it's not a great fit, you can find another one. And I think that's a fantastic service. You get 12 of them for the year, 12 sessions. So please use that. And all of us should feel comfortable talking to a professional when things get hard. And school is a protective factor. It's also a risk factor. So for academic success as well as other things in life. So we all know it can get hard. And there's definitely people that are trained to talk to you in an evidence-based way. So please use it.
All right, thank you, Shane. And of course, I know, Jordan, that basketball is about to start. Real quick, if there's some last minute items you want to say.
I sometimes I feel like I might be the biggest WSU athletics fan on Global Campus, but they play Gonzaga tonight, so I'm very excited for the men's basketball game tonight. So hopefully they can show up and dominate that game. It's okay if we're late, not a big deal. No, just make sure you get your financial aid applications and on time. The W2 scholarship application deadline is also January 31st, so I encourage you to do that. Global students are eligible for all general WSU scholarships. So there are a lot of scholarship opportunities for students. The biggest thing is just making sure that you apply. And then if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You'll probably see a lot of updates coming from financial aid over the next couple months. There's some changes from the One Big Beautiful Bill that are impacting loans. Minor changes for undergraduates, maybe some more significant changes for graduate level students. And so you'll probably see some updates coming through about what that may look like for you as a student. We also have a dedicated web page on our financial aid website if you are interested now of learning more about what the changes might be coming for the next year. Some of you might be anticipating what your financial aid offer will look like for next year. We are working on the back end for that. So generally our goal is February timeframe to get those out to you. We'll keep our fingers crossed that everything works to be able to do that. But if we have your application for next year, you have been notified. If you have not gotten an email from us, it means you still need to do it. So make sure to either connect with me or get your financial aid application done by January 31st.
All right. Thank you, Jordan. And thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to our financial resources panel. You've always consistently supported our global campus week of welcome. So yeah, I don't think we gotta do picture time. We can do raffle time. Well, to our panelists, you're welcome to stay and see who won, or you're welcome to also hop out and watch basketball. But yes, so Sana, are we ready? All right, let's see. Ooh. Oh, it's kind of like even compared to last Monday. All right. Okay. Susanna, you are the raffle master, so it's up to you how many you want to raffle off. Cheese, cheese, cheese. All right.
Let's do 3 again.
Okay, let's do 3. All right. Let's Oh my no. What? Do you want to Susanna? Thank you, Elizabeth.
Let's do 3 more. Let's do 3 more.
Yeah, let's 3 more. Thank you, Kelly. All right, let's do it again. Let's see. Thinking. Oh, come on. Are you both like in cahoots with each other? All right. Okay, let's do 3 more. Thank you, Kira. We appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Leora! And she, wow, good job. All right. Okay. All right, 2 more. No, we do 2 more. Or, oh, well, Leora again. I thought we already removed her name. Or
Yeah,
how
did,
does this work?
Yeah, let's just do it 2 more.
And it is 25 points. Angelique finally won. Oh, well, you know what? There's only Elizabeth. Oh.
Why didn't it take them all out? Huh.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll give it to Elizabeth. So we'll have Leora, Elizabeth, and who's the other one? Leora, Angelique, and Leora, Elizabeth. All right. Well, congratulations, everybody. Thank you again. And if you are available, please, come to our jamming with DJ McPhee on Friday, or that's tomorrow. Okay. Have a great evening, everybody. Go Cougs. Bye.